What's today? 4/28.
Hey, Cece.
Hey. Oh, you went purple for gold.
I did.
I thought about it really hard, but I came across my Red Day shirt first. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that one instead.
I came across this because my Red Day shirts usually have paint on them.
Oh, paint. I thought you said pink. I was like, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, paint. So I was like, and then my bold shirt's really big. They never could get the right size for me, so it's like hanging off of me. So
Oh, the bold one?
my small.
Oh my gosh, it's giant.
So I figured this is easy. So you just tell me what you need because this is my first time doing it. Hi, everyone.
Okay, I am popping it over to Facebook now.
Okay.
And then I will get the
Slides up.
I will share the I'll share the slide deck in just a moment. Hey Matt, hey Terry, I see Nadine's on as well.
Good morning.
Morning, everybody.
I like the beard.
Oh, thank you, Matt. I'm still unsure there, but we'll see. It'll stay in place, I guess, for a few more days.
Right.
don't know what's happening with Facebook. It's doing something very strange.
Everybody staying healthy?
Little something.
Is it working, Cece?
Not the way it's supposed to.
Okay.
It's doing something a little bit different this time, so maybe I figured it out.
Okay. You just tell me.
I know that, no. Okay, so the Facebook feed is apparently not currently working. I know that Zoom upgraded their security measures recently. If you guys have Zoom, you notice that the URL changed. And the first 6 characters have some US specific characters there now. So that is something that's changed.
Okay. Wonderful.
So I have a feeling that's interrupting the Facebook share.
Okay. Will you get a chance to put something on there letting them know that Facebook's not working as well?
I am working on it.
Okay. Well, I will wait just a minute to start. How's everybody doing?
Good.
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 Have you seen that video about the Zoom meeting? They're actually in person, but they're pretending to be in a Zoom call.
I have seen some funny ones like that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I will say I've seen people have gotten really creative and hilarious actually.
Right.
The laughter is great medicine. Okay. Are we ready, Cece?
You go ahead anytime you want to. It's already recording.
Okay. Well, welcome everybody. I am going to be starting the first part of the team meeting while PJ will be joining us a little bit later. And then we have a surprise guest this afternoon later on in the call who will be finished now. I wanted to welcome everybody. I hope everybody is staying safe and healthy during this time. If anybody needs anything special, we'll get to that in just a few minutes. But I just want to say welcome. Can you turn the page, Cece? So I want to start off by saying, tell me something good, something positive that's happened to you, your family, your business during this time that we've all been isolated away from everybody. What have you discovered? Anybody want to chime in?
Well, we're all still healthy in the Rogers family, so thank goodness for that.
Wonderful. And you're growing a beard, so that looks great, Terry.
Thank you.
Who else wants to tell you something good?
I'll say something good. I've learned that I'm not as afraid of talking to people as I thought I was, and that I can actually contribute something to this wonderful group of people by teaching Zoom classes. So I've come way out of my comfort zone from starting in January. So I feel like I'm contributing something to something that y'all might not know.
Awesome, Shannon. Thank you for sharing that. And you've got a lot to offer people, so please don't discount yourself.
Oh, thank you.
We each have our own specialties.
You contribute a ton, Shannon. I love your
Thank you.
videos. Thank you for that.
I hope they help.
They do.
Perfect. Rob, anything you want to say that's wonderful and good? before we
Yeah, I
move
was
on?
gonna say I second that. It was nice to just kind of have a one-on-one meeting with Sandy, our new agent. So haven't met face to face, but having a Zoom meeting, we just got to have a nice little conversation. And Sandy, it's nice to meet you and welcome to the office.
Yeah. Well, I know personally something good is I've got to know people on a different level that we probably would never got to meet people. And we're getting to see them in their normal settings, as well as get to know them a deeper relationship versus how we just see each other in the office. And I know that's been really great for me. So if anybody else has anything, I'm going to move on. Or if anybody else doesn't, I'm going to move on.
Hey, Katrina, I just want to say that I'm really excited that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And right now it's a really, really dim light. I mean, it's a long way off, but at least we're starting to see some signs of coming out of this instead of just going deeper into it.
Definitely, Kent. I'm with you on that one. Well, thank you for sharing that. And thank you guys for all of you that are here and sharing. Cece, would you mind going to the next screen? We want to welcome Sandy. So I know a couple of us have got to meet Sandy. She's in our PC program, and so we've got to meet her. She is brand new to the office. So Sandy, would you mind taking just a few seconds to tell us a little about who you are so we can welcome you to the office? Oops, we can't hear you, Sandy. Is your volume up?
She's muted.
Yeah, it might be the volume.
Yeah, because your volume I don't think is working. Well, we will come back to you in just a little bit. There's got to be something with your volume, I think, Sandy.
If you go to the mute button, Sandy, at the bottom, you can do the little arrow up and it'll help you with your audio stuff.
We'll give her just a second to see, and then we'll move on. Okay, we will come back to you, Sandy, towards the end. Hopefully we can get this figured out. I know Sandy's coming from a commercial or background, as well as she does investment properties. And I know she's got a lot to offer to our office, as well as some great ideas. So I would encourage everyone to get to know Sandy. I'll let her do her introduction when we get the technology work in. We want to say happy birthday to Gail, Rachel, Eric, Evelyn, and then happy birthday. I know those are all coming up over the next couple of days. So make sure to reach out. I know Rachel's been doing a great job making sure to put those birthdays on the Facebook page. So I encourage everybody, go get to know the people, because if anything, we're all getting to know the people that we haven't seen before or met before. And this is a great way for us all to introduce ourselves a little bit. And then we've got some upcoming birthdays. We've got Brian Fisher, Jennifer Murphy, Linda Nasser, Patrick Morgan, Mary Liv Richards, and Craig Anderson. Those are just the beginning of May. So make sure to reach out, and hopefully they'll be able to have some good Cinco de Mayo birthdays to celebrate. To hopefully kick off that we come out of isolation maybe around the 8th. So Patrick's got a great day. All right, Cece. Oh, and we have our PB of the month, for April is Shannon Averson.
Oh my gosh.
Congratulations, Shannon. Good job.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I want to, Shannon has stepped in. She has been with us since January. She has grown from just the quiet person that into the office, bubbly, to somebody who is not afraid to get on phones, to set appointments, to go and tackle some of the social media, the technology. I know that she's willing to step out and help people. I know people have reached out to her on a private level, and she is there to help out in any way she can. She's taken time, because we know that Sue's really busy with all the other offices as well. So in between, I know that Shannon has just given up her time to share because she wants to give back. And we're really excited for her. She's doing her lead generation, She's really shining as far as just being with us for 4 months, and 2.5 of those were before we went into isolation. So I just want to say congratulations, Shannon.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations, Shannon. I just want to second that and just say, Shannon, you know, the confidence in you is really showing. That's why you're doing great with your appointments and the lead generation. So just again, congratulations, and it's making us coaches of you and being the BIC and you being only being a PB, but still doing the production and the activity that you're doing and how much you're sharing back to the office is really awesome.
Well, thank you very much.
And then we want to say congratulations for our Agent of the Month for April, Tom Maddox. I'm not sure if he's on here. Is Tom with us today?
He's not at this time.
Well, Tom transferred up from the university office, and Tom has jumped in. He's at all the training. He is on the social hours or that on Thursday social hours. He is really, I know he joined the PC program, and he has really shared a lot of experience. And he's been, I believe, an agent for over 3 years. And he's going on listing appointments, and it's really nice to have Tom with us because he can share a lot back to our office, and he's very positive in everything that he does. So I want to say congratulations to Tom. And then our awesome broker in charge has some great updates for us, how to stay safe and protect ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Katrina. Right, exactly. That's what I want to remind everybody. When you're showing vacant properties in Mecklenburg County, make sure you're staying safe, 6 feet apart, bringing it up a level and bringing your hand wipes, bringing booties, bringing hand sanitizer in all your showings. So that's just bringing it up another level. Make sure you carry your realtor bag with you. So you're able to do that. As far as properties for getting new listings, in Mecklenburg County, it's the first showings. They're still virtual showings only. So if you are taking a new listing, let's step back. If it is a vacant property, you can call and get the property measured. You can also have photography on vacant properties. That's just going to be scheduled where those vendors will go over there by themselves and take the appropriate action and do what they need to do. If your seller is living in the property, it does say that they should be taking a photo or they should take a virtual tour. I mean, with their iPhones or the phones that we have today, that's possible for them to do. However, I know it does appear that some people are still getting listings with photos taken even though the sellers are there. And I think that the agents are really staying out of that, and maybe the sellers are calling the vendors directly and leaving the agent out of that loop. Now, I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but I think that's really what's happening. So let's just kind of get through this here. But if that's the case, remember, well, you can only do virtual showings, so take the best pictures that you can, do with the measurements, and you can still do your showings up until this is lifted. As far as in all the other counties, you're still good with all your showings. So just maintain your safety and just be careful with all of that. And then one other thing I just wanted to mention was that when you put in a listing in the MLS, when you're uploading a listing, the number of bedrooms that you are marketing must equal what the septic permit is saying. So if the septic permit says 3 bedrooms, however, in the house, there's 3 bedrooms upstairs, but there's another bedroom in the basement. You cannot put 4 bedrooms. You can only put 3 bedrooms because that's what the septic permit states. So be sure that you are following the commission guidelines by number of bedrooms equals what the septic permit states. And that's all I have for today.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. If you have any questions of where to find that information, I know you're allowed to join the PB training as far as when Rob does it. Yet I know he's putting together a great list of resources for where agents can go and look for septic and pull the information so that their listings are correct. Make sure that we all stay in compliance and out of real estate jail. So, and remember, guys, just because somebody bought the house at a certain bedroom does not mean that that was actually done correctly. And sometimes you have to be the bad guy to break that news to them. So you can always refer to Rob. He's there to help soften that if you need advice and everything. So thank you, Rob, for always looking out for us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay. All right, so I wanted to let everybody know we have started working a lot with the productivity coaching. We have spreadsheets, so for those who love spreadsheets, being able to track what your calls are, what your production is, what your economic model, your organization model, everything's all in one tab, so we can figure out what your conversion ratio, so and as well as what your GPS and your 401 are. So it all ties together so that we can help you guys grow a business, but also grow yourself by reaching out to all your goals. So PC program is not just about scripting and dialogue every day. It's about coming together into a small mastermind where we're training. Like today we talked about marketing, how to stand out, how to rebrand yourself, how to figure out what your message is between your Facebook, your command, as well as like if you're doing any print marketing, and how when you're prospecting, whether your goal is to be on networking. I know that I want to thank Chris Conrad, who's coming from the New England market, who's been in real estate for over 9 years. And she is getting ready. We're testing out something for the office tomorrow in the PC program as we're doing a virtual, like a tour of different houses. Like we used to do caravans in my other office, and they are very known for that. And eventually we can open it up to everybody as well as even agents outside. So this group has a lot of different knowledge and ideas. So I encourage you, if anybody is interested, I'd love to talk to you about that. I do have one other thing. One of the things that was shared, Tiffany was very vulnerable to share this yesterday, and she said, I wanted to share this with everyone. I fell off the wagon contacting for sale by owners in February. I just looked over my spreadsheet, and here's what I found. 72 for sale by owners on the list, 24 currently off the market, 16 sold, 5 listed and sold with an agent, 10 currently listed, 7 told her no, not interested, or were annoyed for the amount of agent calls, 21 still are for sale by owners, 6 have pending sales, and 1 went to a rental. It was a really big eye opener for her to be able to track her numbers and to go back and realize she fell off the wagon. Yeah, what we encourage you guys to do is move on, figure out what you need to do to pick up where you left off. And the most important thing is to get back on the phones, not making sure you have the best for sale by owner packet or the expired package, which we're working on together inside our group as well, and we're doing different training. So if anybody is interested, I strongly recommend that you reach out to me, and I'd be more than glad to give any free advice to help you guys out. All right, Terry, with amazing beard, would you give us a compliance update, please, sir?
Absolutely. Good morning, everybody. Just a couple of reminders, and some of this is old news, but it's very important. The Real Estate Commission does require that you turn in all your contracts, listing agreements, buyer agencies, etc., to your firm within three days. So within 3 days, please make sure those things get submitted into Command. Equally important is a federal form, and that's our Affiliated Business Arrangement Form. We call it a RESPA. Unfortunately, I've had to not approve a couple of files because it's missing our client RESPA. Why is that important? Well, there was a lawsuit many years ago, a federal lawsuit against a major real estate firm for failing to disclose a business arrangement with a title company. We have that. We have arrangements with lenders. We have arrangements with attorneys. So it's very, very important. So I feel very bad if I have to return a loop for failure to have a RESPA in there. But please reach out to me anytime. If you can't find it in our office documents in DocuSign, I will email you a PDF copy. So you can get that signed as soon as you have any listing agreement or a contract for purchase on a house. Make sure you get that signed and turn it in right away. As always, if you have any questions for me, 704-560-9630. Just give me a call and we'll have a conversation. Thank you.
Thanks, Terry, for sharing that. All right, Cece, our amazing MCA.
And I'm going to add to Terry's message because in that 3 days, you're also supposed to send me your commission request at ratified contract, not a closing. Why is that important to you? You're really going to want to listen to this because if there's no documents, in your opportunity and there's no commission request and I have a check in my hand, that check is going to stay in my hand. It's not going to make it to you. All right. Use those 3 days wisely. Get your opportunity in. Let Terry take a look at it. He can help you even make a better transaction experience because he can help you see the things that you missed. He can advise you, do all those things, great things. If you want to get paid, you also have to do your commission request. This is especially important as we are coming up on the end of the month. 5 o'clock Thursday is the deadline. Money in my hand for April closings, or they don't happen until next week.
Which is really important if you're on your cap.
Yep. So make sure if you have a closing this week, I sent this reminder out earlier, you need your documents in your opportunity today. You need them in Terry's hands today so that when that money arrives in my hand by Thursday, I can give it to you immediately. That's what you want, right? That's what I want too. All right. Terry and I are teaming up here. Awesome. I think I'll be talking about something a little bit later that has to go with the color of my shirt, but we'll wait till we get to that in a minute.
Awesome. We've got a lot of great training coming up, everybody. So if you're not on the daily text message that comes in the morning that's sent out, as well as on our KW intranet where you can follow KWCommand.connect.com in the calendar to see what's going on. I encourage everybody to start on Sundays looking at that to see what's going on for the week, to figure out what calls you're going to be on, what's important of that week, what is your goal. I also encourage you guys to all think about setting time aside for actually the working on your business for the lead generation, not just attending every single Zoom call just because it's there, because you can have the best practice or you can have the best book club or you can have the best command, but if you don't have money or leads coming in, it doesn't matter what you have. So I encourage you guys to pick and choose which class is really important for you to learn to help grow your business and what you're looking to get out of it. So I know there's tons of classes coming up. We got the listing forms and agenda with Terry. We got Zoom happy hour. Guys, it's fun. We're getting to know each other. You don't have to have a beverage in your hand. You can have a water. You can show up with a face mask on. You can show up with messy hair and kids running behind you. Just to let you know and see everybody like in their own settings. We've got a Zoom scavenger hunt coming up. I'm really excited about that. I think that's a great thing because it could be something you can start adding into your business for marketing. We've got profit share, which is going to be be determined as well. Learning a little bit about that. Let's see, we've got, again, later on, every Thursday at 4 o'clock is Zoom happy hour, 4 o'clock. It's on the Facebook page as well. We've got the PB meeting coming up on the 12th at 10 o'clock. Again, our team meeting is the second Tuesday of every month at 11 o'clock. And then we have our amazing Red Day. It's May 14th coming up. And we're going to talk about that as well as why I'm wearing purple and Cece's wearing red today. And then again, it goes back to happy hour the following week, Agent Essentials on the 20th, 1 to 3, another PV meeting, and then our other team meeting for the rest of the month. And hopefully we'll have some updates of where we are in the market as well as getting back to normal or what our normal is. All right, Cece.
All right, me and my red shirt, we're up. I teased you guys earlier today about an announcement coming about Red Day. We know what we're doing, and I'm so excited about it. Red is for love, red is for renew, red is for energize, red is for donate, and in critical need right now, red is for blood. We are going to be hosting a blood drive in the parking lot of our market center on Thursday, May 14th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. This is with One Blood. They supply all of the atrium hospitals, and any surplus they may have also goes to the other local hospitals here in the Charlotte area. So what we're doing is for our local community, stays in our local community. I know that's really important to us. We are still working out a few key details, so in the next day or so, I'll have more information for you. What I want to ask you, what we are asking you to do, call your sphere, call your database, call your past clients who have local addresses. That's what One Blood is going to be doing. They're going to be calling their past donors who are in our area zip codes up here and inviting them to come and join us. Reach out to the agents on the other side of your current deals. Reach out to the showing agents who have shown your listings and invite them to come and participate, because they have buyers who are interested in being in this local community, who are going to want to plug into this local community. There are a lot of great ways to reach out to the people you are already working with. It doesn't have to feel like lead generation, but it's a great way to start. Make that care call, invite them to participate, invite them to support the local community. I know that OneDrive is going to be doing a couple of giveaways, a couple of prize giveaways. Don't know what they are yet. That's a couple of the details we're working out. And, I'm going to give you a secret. We might be doing a little competition with one of our other market centers. We've laid it out there. We're waiting to see if they're going to pick up the gauntlet for most pints of blood donated. So watch for details. Make sure it's on your calendar. Thursday, May 14th, 10 to 3, right here at the Market Center. So I'm excited about that. I know it's something we haven't done before, at least recently, and it's going to be a great opportunity to see each other in a safe environment. We're going to have all our social distancing protocols.
Thank you, Cece.
That's
I
awesome.
want to make sure that was stressed. It will be safe.
Yes.
Hey, Cece,
Yes, ma'am.
are you guys going to put together an infographic so we can share it on social media?
We're still working out some details with OneBlood, and as soon as we have all that done, we will share an entire collection of marketing.
Perfect.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So we have this amazing class coming up June 25th. I don't know how many of you guys have done the 6 Personal Perspective. I know a lot of the classes have little bits and pieces throughout it when they come and teach with our CES. And I'm telling you, the CES program that our region has in North Carolina is one of the best training that you can have. A lot of Keller Williams don't have the opportunity to bring great instructors or these core courses to our market center. I strongly, strongly, strongly encourage everyone, please put this on your calendar. It's an amazing course that you will be taught for free in our market center. It's a great way to also invite people. It doesn't have to be in our market center, but there's some amazing things that you'll learn about your 20%, different breakthrough. It hits you at different times. So I know I've taken it numerous times, and each time I'll walk away with something different. So I know right now we have Jill Gallagher coming June 25th. Hopefully that we don't have any changes. But please mark your calendar, guys. It's an all-day event. I believe it's from 9 to 5 or 9 to 4 in our office, correct, Cece?
I'd have to check on the end time, but that's roughly it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I encourage you guys, time block out, plan ahead of time right now so that you know what's coming up. So, and thank you for our office for being able to bring these great instructors to our market center.
And if you're interested in a sneak peek, Pam Temple, when she was with us for team meeting right at a month ago, it was early March, right? She gave a kind of an abridged version. She kind of picked some of her favorite ahas from 6 Personal Perspectives, which she also teaches, and shared that with us. So we have a little sneak peek from team meeting in early March.
And this is wonderful because we're coming out of, hopefully we'll be out of the whole stay at home. And I know a lot of us might have some limited beliefs. And this is a great time. I'm sure it'll be current and the perfect time for setting your mindset a little different as we gear up for the last half of the year.
Awesome.
All right, so we have needs and wants. Who has a need or want for our office that we can help you in some way? I know the Sarver team is looking for, they have a buyer looking for specific stuff. Shannon, Matt, you guys?
Yeah, I have a buyer that's looking for a 3rd floor waterfront condo, end unit, preferably, so under 400,000, and cash and quick close. So we did make an offer on one yesterday. I'm not sure it's going to work out or not, but yeah, keep that in mind.
Awesome, thanks, Matt. Anybody else have a want or need for that we can all help out? All right, going once, twice. Please, guys, use the Facebook group because you can put things in there. We've got our High Country, we've got a Huntersville office. Let's come together and see how we can help each other, especially if we're looking for properties or we have a situation that we're running into and need some advice. Okay, CP? All right. So I know that we are going to be talking about this. Is it too early to go into the CC?
We can share a little of what we know. Our guest has not quite joined us yet. It's a tad early.
It is a little tad early. Sorry, I talk fast.
What do we We know that we get a sneak peek of Bold Pivot from KW tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock on a live stream. The link is already in the KW Connect calendar. So hop on at 4 o'clock tomorrow. We're going to get a live sneak peek. It's the first time any of us, like even leadership, we haven't seen what we're going to see tomorrow at 4 o'clock. So I'm excited for that. Let's see, Katrina's in her bold purple shirt. I had to choose between my red day shirt and my bold shirt. I like red better. We know I like red better with my glasses.
And I know it'll be my 7th time taking bold, and it's usually $100 when you go through it. And I learn something every single time. So I encourage you, if you have the opportunity to sign up for it, it starts next week. And I'm looking forward to hearing a little more about how it's going to work. And it's 2 times a week. And then there's 2 call times, I guess, for everybody. This would be a great time to get our mindsets back into lead generation.
1 week it's going to be adjusted. It's going to be 2 hours each time. It is going to be recorded. So whereas in the past, if you had to miss, they would tell you maybe not take it. This time it's going to be recorded. You can go back and watch. What they do ask is that you keep up with the lead generation every single day, even if you miss the class. So if you're lead generating and that's why you missed the class, maybe you watch it a little bit later, that's the kind of accommodation that's okay. Let's see, what else do we have? What else do we have?
I want to throw in some numbers right now. How many of you guys are looking at the Market Watch when you log into your MLS every day?
Oh, I see a couple hands. That's awesome.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys saw this, but I went on right before this today, and I put, so there are 63 houses coming soon, 320 new listings, 59 price increases, 210 price decreases, 117 back on the market. There's 54 temporarily off the market, and under contract no shows, 173, and under contract shows, 397 properties. That's a lot, guys. We've got 50 withdrawn, 247 have sold, and 22 have expired. If you've been watching the market, I know yesterday the numbers were crazy as well. Every day it's more and more. Real estate is happening. You guys all have an opportunity to get your unfair share. And these classes that are being brought to us right now is an opportunity for you guys to reach out, to redefine who you are and to get your business back where it is. People are still buying and selling. You can still do it in a safe way. So understand the market has not changed. It's just a little different how we're doing things. So I encourage you guys, watch what's going on in the market daily. And Bold Pivot is perfect timing for all of us. Okay, sorry. Let's see, CC or
Who all on the call is signed up already? And I'm gonna give you a challenge. I love seeing the actual hands go up, but I want you to use the Zoom reaction hand. Has everybody done that before?
You want to tell everybody where that is?
You know how to do that?
No.
Oh, look, Matt's got his up. Liz has got hers up. Nadine's got hers up. I love it. Sandy's got hers up. Shannon's got hers up. Yay! Awesome.
We have a little thing.
I actually have to go to mine. Actually, mine's different than y'all's because I have the host account. Mine actually doesn't tell me where to do it.
It's down at the bottom.
I have this entire toolkit, so mine's crazy.
Oh.
Okay, and Brian got their hands up. Danielle.
Awesome.
I love it. Deb's got hers. I love it.
I love this.
Mine. Except like I said, I have the host account. I can't find it. There's so many options.
Yeah. So if anybody has any questions, I know that we have a special guest in a little bit, as well as the video tomorrow. I really, if you're still on the fence whether or not to do it, I encourage you guys, do your due diligence, reach out, figure out if it's right for you guys. I know, like I said, this would be my 7th time. Every time I've learned something new. And this is a very important time for the Keller Williams International to bring this opportunity for everybody. Great forward thinking. So all the Max coaches, thank you, or Bold coaches. All right, Cece, is PJ on? Sorry guys, I speak a little faster, or Kent, you want to chime in?
Kent had to hop off a little bit ago. I can hear PJ. He's still on his call, and we do not have our special guest yet. We knew that he wouldn't be joining us until about 11:40. So let's see what questions you have. You guys can.
Carrie has a question.
I see Carrie's got something.
Hey guys, just a quick point. As far as a listing class on Thursday, we're going to do something a little bit different. It's going to be more question and answer about any form that you can think of. If it's an offer to purchase, I'm just kind of opening it up to the participants. So we'll talk about what you want to talk about. We'll talk about tips and tricks on how to get listings when you've got competition. Just the format is going to be open to the agents. So please, this is a little bit different. Please, talk with some of the agents that aren't on this call today and encourage them to participate. The more the questions, the more we all learn from each other. Thank you.
Definitely. And at 1 o'clock today, Shannon is going to be hosting a Zoom for, I believe, Shannon, would you like to tell us what your class is? Once you unmute yourself. Hold on, you're still muted, Shannon.
Did I see there were a couple other announcement requests? Local, I think, has one.
Okay, Shannon's going to chime in.
Oh, so sorry.
It's okay.
I had to unmute myself. Today I'm going to do smart plans because we've been doing a lot of Facebook ads, and they've really, I know I started one last week for 5 days and I got 13 leads out of it. And I actually got somebody that's looking to buy in the next 6 months. So they're working, and I know that this weekend, if you started one, Command was having a couple issues communicating with Facebook because Facebook was updating their algorithms. But now they're working out, everything's good. And so I'm going to be doing smart plans today. So how you can just throw those people into smart plans and it automatically sends them texts, emails. If it's a call, it gives you a task to do. So we're doing that today, and a little bit of how to customize your home screen on your website. And then to Thursday, I'm going to show you how to add, on our website, we just added a COVID-19 assistance form. And it was created in Google Forms, and we just asked if they or anybody they knew needed assistance with, medical supplies or any kind of supplies or just regular assistance, and then asked for their name. And we promised that we would not give out their information, but we just want to try to give back as much as we could. So we put that on our website, and we're going to start running that too. So I'm going to try to give you some different ideas of things to put on your website just to spice it up a little bit. So I'm going to do that on Thursday. So if anybody has suggestions about what you want to learn, I can just drop them in the message box or send them to me, and I'll be happy to do that next week, or even do one-on-ones. It doesn't matter.
Or add them to the poll, the learning poll that Rachel added to Facebook.
There you go.
Type in whatever topic you want.
Whatever you want.
Only vote for what's there. You can type in whatever topic you want.
I think that's great. Thank you, Shannon. And the best part, she adds a video so you can go at night and watch them over again.
Yeah, and most of the time I'll put instruction sheets on there too. After I do today, I'll show you how I've gotten my tags color coded and everything. So I'll post all that this afternoon.
Thank you so much, Shannon.
Welcome.
Beautiful. Liz, you want to give us your announcement? Liz is one of our fantastic vendors with America's Preferred Home Warranty.
Yes.
Thanks. I won't take much time. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. America's Preferred, we all understand the KW culture. You want to reach out to your clients once a quarter, stay in touch, but we also understand you can only talk about the weather so much. And so we want to give you another topic. If you have anybody out there that missed the boat of getting a warranty at closing, somebody who's maybe lived in their house several years. Friends, family, yourself, everybody. We opened up the buyer's warranty to everyone. Typically, they would go to an aftermarket warranty that's more expensive and there's a waiting period for coverage. We threw that away for now and through June 30th. Originally, it was April 30th, but we've extended through June 30th. Anybody that wants to get a warranty can, and they would be considered a buyer. The day you set it up is their closing date. There's no delay for coverage. Coverage begins immediately, and you can still receive the $100 compensation off of the ones that you sell. So if you choose to keep it, great. If you choose to go to your client in a few weeks when you receive it and say, hey, here's $100 back, you can do that as well. You look like a double hero. So we just want to give you more tools when contacting your clients in your circle of influence and providing a service. Money's tight, so not many people want to pay for a new air conditioner this summer. If you know anybody like that, give them a call. Okay, thanks so much.
Awesome. Katrina, I think we have somebody on the call who isn't normally with us.
Well, welcome them.
Awesome. We have Mark Ramsey with us today. Mark is one of our awesome Bold coaches, and he has a message for us about Bold. Mark?
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good, good. Hey, you guys know, I saw Elizabeth do it. You guys know that you can press the space bar on most browsers and unmute yourself? Did you guys know about that?
No.
Okay, so it's kind of cool. So if somebody asks a question and you know you don't want to go over and click unmute and then mute, if you hold, it's like temporary. So as you're holding the space bar down, you can just answer a quick question, let off, and you go back on mute. So that's pretty cool. So, and the reason I say that is because I'd like to have this interactive. So if I ask again, let's just see how many of you it works with. Press your space bar down and just tell me how you doing.
Awesome.
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
Doesn't that sound, I am really well, thank you for asking. Doesn't that sound so much better when you hear a lot of people?
Yes, that was good.
Thank you. So for those of you with your cameras off, let me just ask you, especially in this time, it's kind of becoming obvious. Are people meant to be together? Like, are we created to be together, or do you feel we're more created to kind of be on our own?
Be together.
Who said together?
Say it again, Tommy.
Be together.
Yeah, there you go. I completely agree. I think it is to be together. In fact, I'm an introvert. Like, I play extrovert in the room and all, and yet I gain my energy when I'm alone. So after, you know, if I'm traveling and I've been in Bold 2 or 3 days in a row, when I get on that airplane to come home, like, I don't want to talk to anybody. So even as an introvert, I really like being around people. So if you can, I'd love for those of you who have your cameras turned off to go in and turn them on. And I don't care if you got little kids in the background or whatever. It's just, as people, we're meant to see people. So thank you guys for turning on your cameras whenever you can. So my question is, that's really helpful. Yeah, a lot of you have. Thank you for doing that. Look at all those pretty faces. What do you guys have your cameras off for? You're awesome.
Can I just say that I got out of the shower and that's why we had our cameras off, and then I pulled my shirt up because it looked like I didn't have a shirt on. So that's why the camera is off. I usually would have it on.
You're awesome. The other day I was on a Zoom call and a guy forgot that he wasn't wearing pants, and he was doing something and he stood up to do something, and he showed us more than any of us wanted to see. So sometimes it's better to keep the camera off. I agree. Anyway, thank you guys for turning your cameras on. That's fantastic. So let me just ask, and with the cameras on, I can do this a lot easier. By the show of hands, how many of you are already registered for Bold Pivot? You're going to Bold Pivot. Oh, fantastic. Great. Matt's even got the technology thing going. Thank you. Okay, fantastic. So let me just ask you why. Let's talk just a little bit about, why are you guys, so many of you, choosing to go to Bold Pivot?
Oh my gosh, we need it now more than ever to get the latest technology scripts to use in today's market during this crisis.
Okay, so I love that. We need it now more than ever. How many of you guys have you got in the business, say, 2010 or more recently? Raise your hand if you've been in the business 2010 or more recently. Nadine, you were there a lot longer. Okay, let's do it the other way. Who was in business before 2010? Raise your hand. Okay, so a whole bunch of us know what it's like. I got in business in 2002, and I just rode the wave up, and it was great. In 2006, we made nearly $1 million in GCI, and we were all excited about it. Then in 2008, everything tumbled. And Nadine, exactly like you said, in 2008, I didn't know what to do because I had become a really, really good marketer. And so in 2008, I'm talking to my coach, and she's like, "How's things going in Charlotte?" And I'm like, "Bad, like really, really bad." And she said, like, "What?" And I said, "Nothing's selling." And she goes, "Wow, that must really look weird." And I said, "What do you mean look weird?" And she said, like, "So if you go to the MLS and you pull up solds, nothing's there." And I said, "Well, see, you don't really understand." She goes, "No, I asked a question. If you pull up solds, is something there or not?" And I said, "Hang on. What I got to explain." She goes, "Mark, it's a yes or no question. You're either going to say yes or you're going to say no, or I'm going to hang up." So what did I say?
Yeah, there were solds.
Yes.
Of course there were solds. There's never been a time that I've been in real estate, and probably ever in a long time, that there are no solds. There's always so. So I said, reluctantly, I said yes. And she said, "Oh, good. Okay, good. Then it's not that nothing's selling. It's just that you're not selling anything." And that hurt. That was like a stab through the veil. However, I can tell you in 2008, when people were asking us how are things going, what was I telling everybody? Come on, get off mute. What do you think I was telling people?
They're going great. Houses are selling
Yeah, why would I have said that?
because they need to know that their house can sell with you.
Exactly, Shannon. If I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know, this is really bad, their Anzi group might be going out of business," then who in the world is going to list with me? So what you'll find is, as the market shifts and as the economy shifts, you're going to have a lot of people lying about how things are really going. You're going to say, "How are they going?" And what are they going to say? "Great, everything's great, everything's awesome." And the truth, it isn't. Now, who else might be lying about things going great when they're not? Has anybody ever worked with a seller who didn't tell you that they had missed a couple mortgage payments until you got deep in the conversation? Have you ever had that? Okay. I'm just telling you, the number one thing we have to work on right now is fear. How many of you are feeling some fear yourself right now? Let's just be honest. Okay, so let's go off mute and tell. So what are you potentially fearing? What's concerning you right now?
Sellers are hesitant to put their houses on the market.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of sellers are very hesitant to put their houses on the market. So what do you guys care? Come on, you know the answer. Why do you care if sellers don't put their houses on the market?
Because we won't have the inventory to sell.
And if you don't have any, what do you care about that? Who wants inventory? It's just
You
something
don't make money.
There you go.
Money.
How many of you guys are worried about your income? Right? Okay, so am I. Like, that's real. So we got to be real here. How many of you guys are concerned you might get the virus? Some of you aren't concerned about it. I definitely am concerned about it. Some people
had it.
Some people, what's that?
I think it's already been through my family, quite frankly.
Karen, see, some people have already gone through it. And then the question is, are you immune to it? Like right now, they're not sure if you have the antibodies, does that mean you won't get it again? You know, how many of you guys have had the flu multiple times? So then the question is, could you get the corona COVID-19 and then, or COVID-19, and then get a COVID something else some other time? So I'll tell you, there's a lot of unknown, and unknown breeds fear. In times of fear, people are looking for direction. In fact, if you're taking notes, I'd ask you to write that down. Probably one of the most important things we could be thinking. In times of fear and uncertainty, people are looking for what?
Direction.
Thank you. Because what they'll do is they'll come to you acting like they're looking for answers, and we don't have the answers. Like Karen says, it's gone through my family, I believe. She doesn't even know if it has. I don't know if I've had it. I'm telling you, I felt really punky 2 or 3 weeks ago for a while. I didn't know if it's, I don't know, should I be taking Claritin or turn myself into the CDC? Like, who knows what it is really? So in times of uncertainty and fear, people are going to go to you like, Nadine, I don't know if I should sell my house. I've been thinking about selling. I don't know is this a good time? Should I sell my house? And if you're not careful, you're going to give them an answer. And nobody knows the future. So it's a process. It's not an event. So here's what we have to do. In times of uncertainty, people are looking for a direction. So all we need is just a direction. Let's get going in a direction. And when we go in that direction, then we can make changes along the way. Is pricing an event or a process? Pricing a seller's house, is it an event or a process?
Process.
It's a process for us.
How do you know it's a process? Why isn't it an event?
Well, I think it's an event for them because when they finally come up with a number, it's like, ta-da! But for us, it's a process because we go through the motions and go through everything that we need to do our due diligence.
Exactly, Karen. And even when you've done all your due diligence, and we have the ta-da moment, this is the price we're listing your house. Raise your hand if you've ever lowered the price of a house. So yes, if you've ever done any business, you've lowered the price of a house. So clearly it's not an event, or else we would get it right every time the first time, and there would never be a reason ever to lower a price. Isn't it always a process? That's another way to look at this. What we're going to be going through is a lot of people have got to understand that everything we're up against right now is a process. When will everything be opened up again? All the stores be opened up? Who the heck knows? And are they all just going to open up and everything's going to go back? No, it's a process. Everything in life is a process. And here's the thing. Over the past few years, was the process of selling a house a relatively easy thing to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Coming off mute would be great. Yeah, so, you know, Gene Rivers says, in a market where any idiot can sell a house, you have idiots out there selling houses, right? Okay, how many of you guys know an idiot that's been out there selling houses? Yeah, how many of you are that idiot? No, don't put your hands down, right?
Sometimes.
So we know that, and the process was pretty short. How many of you guys have been selling houses in a day or less over the last several months? Right? The process was short, and the process is about to get a lot longer. What kind of a market are we in right now for most properties?
Sellers.
Okay. You're in one of three markets at all time, either a seller's market or a what?
Buyers.
Or what's the third one?
Mixed.
Yeah, and a lot of people say balanced. I'm going to ask you not to say that. It's a buyer's market, a seller's market, or what's the market called at the top of the curve?
Shifting market.
It's a shifting market, right? Because you're shifting from seller to buyer or from buyer to seller. So in the top and the bottom, you're in shifting markets, right? So you're always in a seller's market, a buyer's market, or a shifting market. So for most of our properties, we're getting into a shifting market. Now, we're still selling a lot of houses. Anybody sold a house virtually with multiple offers? Yeah, so there are still some people that are definitely in a seller's market. What's your high end in right now? Like your real high end, over 800,000. What does that mean? It's got to be in one of the three markets. If you had to define it, over 800,000 or over $1 million, what would you say that market is right now?
Buyers.
Huh?
Buyers.
Oh, is it a buyer's market now? Okay. I know I've coached Fold all over the place, and a lot of places were in a seller's market, especially up in the New England area, and they were in a shifting market when I was there in November and December, and they're absolutely in a buyer's market on the higher end. So here's the thing, in the shifting market is where you have fear, and in fear times people want a direction. So my question to you is, if you guys admitted that you're in fear, and I'm also in fear of certain things, what are we doing to make sure that we don't propagate fear? What do we have to do to make sure that we don't just propagate the fear?
Our message and our marketing has to show the positive.
Yeah. And how do you make sure that you stay positive?
Affirmations.
The little yellow box is not popping around. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Affirmations. What else?
That's Katrina, our productivity coach, talking, Mark.
Yes, that doesn't surprise me. She's right on top of things. Thank you. Yes, it just says Lake Norman Cornelius. So great, Katrina. Thank you. So what else? What else could you do?
Find out what we can control.
Yes. Okay. So if you'd write this down, control the controllables. Control the controllables. Because here's the thing. There's a lot of things we don't control, and yet we're looking to control them. And that's the problem. So ask yourself every morning when you wake up, if you would, what am I doing that I should not be doing? The first question you can write down, what am I doing that I should not be doing? The second question is, what am I not doing that I should be doing? Some of us aren't taking showers as often as we should, right? Well, nobody's going to smell me anyway. It's just me. The other day I was on a call like 2 o'clock and one lady said, yeah, I haven't brushed my teeth yet today. I'm like, that's just gross. Like, do that for yourself. Right? Okay. And then the third question, and maybe the most important of them, is what am I trying? And yes, I'm using the word trying. What am I trying to control that I have no control over? And that equals control the controllables. See, here's the cool thing. In times of fear, which we're in, we all have certain fears. Do you guys think I have fears?
Yes.
I'm a bold coach, so get real. Do I really have fears? Do I have fears?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm human. I don't care if I'm a bold coach or what. Gary Keller, and we know he probably doesn't fear anything, right?
Of course he does.
Like, he's got huge fears, like everybody. That's part of being human. So our buyers and our sellers are going to have fears. And so if you'd write this down, fear equals scarcity. In a lot of cases, fear equals scarcity, and people go into hunker down mode, like this I'm gonna ride this thing out. And then below that, if you'd write fear equals abundance. Is it possible for some people fear is an abundant thing? Not in a bad way, like, oh yeah, you watch me. Like when my coach told me then it's not that nothing's selling. He says, you're not selling anything. My first thing went to like, crap, I know I'm not selling anything. I'm going out of business. And then all of a sudden, as soon as I took that posture of fear, I thought, no, I'm not going out of business. I do not want to go back to the corporate world. And all of a sudden that fear became a time of abundance. And I was like, okay, so you're right. And I am scared. So what do I do? And all of a sudden, I took that fear and I created abundance out of it. And I'm like, I will not go back to the corporate world. And then she said, so what are you going to do? And I said, I don't know. That's why I've got you as a coach. Tell me what to do. Now, good news was this was in 2009. Remax had just shut down the office. I moved all my stuff literally into my garage. And I had decided I'm just going to go start Ramsey Group Real Estate and heck with all the big companies because they shut down my office. On Friday, they called me and told me the office is going to be getting locked up on Monday, which means they hadn't been paying the bills for a while, which really made me mad. And so then all of a sudden I go see Keller Williams and I'm like, oh, wow, this sounds good. This is more what I want. And I came on board with Keller Williams and that's when everything changed for me. And then my coach said, you need to start prospecting. Now I was running a marketing machine and the problem was it was costing me $12,000 a month. And that was fine when I was making nearly $1 million in GCI. That was a good trade-off. When nobody was calling on the marketing, what did I have to do then?
You have to go out and work.
Shift your business.
What do you do if marketing's not working?
Switch to prospecting.
Go to basics. Go back to
Switch
basics.
to prospecting. Yes, go to basics, which is switch to prospecting. Prospecting is, so look at the two of them. Marketing is high cost, low time. Prospecting is low cost, high time. Well, I had time because I didn't have any clients and I didn't have money. So prospecting was the obvious answer. I didn't even know what prospecting was. And the weird thing is, the way Lisa and I started the business in 2002 was to go out and tell everybody, Mark's just quit his job and he's starting this real estate gig. Who do you know? I didn't even know it was called prospecting. I just had to make it work. So I did that because we didn't have any money. So prospecting was the key. And I said, okay, so teach me how to prospect. She goes, I got good news for you. We got a brand new program and it's called Bold. And you need to get into Bold. How many of you guys were in Bold in 2009? Were you there? Yeah. So that was the very first Bold in 2009. Tammy and Bruce Youngst were in there. Molly Zahn was in there. Beth Smith-Shuey was in there. There was a whole bunch of us. So right now, Bold Pivot is the most important thing I think any of us can do for our businesses because it's going to help us with our mindset and it's going to help us with how do you prospect. And we have other things, other ways to prospect in Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and text messages. So it's going to have all of that in there too. So since most of you guys are in Bold Pivot already, I'd like to ask you, let me just ask you this. Are other agents in your market center scared?
Yes.
Yes,
Are other agents hunkering down?
definitely.
Yeah.
There's 3 F's, and everybody knows 2 F's. When you're backed into a corner, What are the two F's that most people talk about? You can either
Fight or flight.
fight or flight. Fight or flight. And that's what everybody talks about. There's a third F that people don't talk about, and it's probably one of the most dangerous ones, and that's called freeze. And I can guarantee you, just like me in 2008, a lot of agents are in the freeze mode right now. And we have got to get them out of freeze because you die when you go into freeze mode. So I'm going to ask everybody on this call who's in bold, would you please go find one other person that you care about, either with another company or with Keller Williams or someone like Elizabeth with another company, and say, I mean, Elizabeth is always there at our bolds. Like, can you please get involved? I know a lot of people that are bringing their spouse. They've always wanted their spouse to be able to participate in bold, and yet it's just, you know, they'd have to take a day off work, and then it's $7.99. How much is Bold Pivot? It's $99. Like, it's never been cheaper, and a lot of spouses are now at home, so you could take it with a spouse right now. I hope that some of your light bulbs are going off. So would you guys each find at least one more person to join us? Because here's my concern. Do you know how many agents right now at Keller Williams are registered for Bold Pivot? Yes. Well, how many agents do we have at Keller Williams?
160,000.
About 160,000. So how many do you, just if you had to guess, how many are already registered for Bold Pivot?
60.
3,000.
So I heard 60,000 and 3,000. Well, at 160,000 agents, I would hope it was a lot more than 3,000. And yet, unfortunately, you're not far off. It's 20,000 agents. And I'll tell you right now, how many agents do you have in your market center?
208.
208. And at the height of this call, we had about 21 people on the call. What percentage of your market center agents were on this call today?
20%.
Well, if it was about 10%. About 10% of your agents. And here's the sad thing.
Why don't you go get me a sign?
Yeah, you can
go get me a sign and we'll get it set up. Okay.
And Karen, you can mute if you don't mind.
Sure.
No, that's good.
Sorry.
So here's the thing about 10% of the agents. So there's a whole bunch of people who are going to go out of business in the next year, and that's going to be a problem. So I just ask you to grab somebody else and help them get registered. How many of you guys are on the Bold Pivot Facebook group page already? Is there any value on that?
Oh, yeah.
There's already value. So if you're in the Bold Pivot and you haven't gotten on that site, please get on that site now. You'll need your registration number. Do I have any questions about Bold Pivot and how it's going to work?
I have a few questions.
Sure. Now, my point is it's 12 o'clock now. Do I need to stop or can I answer some questions?
Keep going. You're good, Mark.
Okay, great. So what are your questions? Let's answer them for you quickly.
So for Bold Pivot, it's $99, but so does how is it like a self-guided thing that once I sign up and then just I go through it, or is it scheduled for a certain date that's live, or how does that work?
Chuck, you're awesome. So I'm going to go through this really, really quickly because that's really important. Bold Pivot is going to be completely digital. So it's going to be a live stream. So if you're writing this down, Chuck, write it down really quickly. And by the way, if everybody would write this down, because you can help other people with this. mapscoaching.com. When you go to mapscoaching.com, if someone would put that in the chat, that would be awesome.
The writer?
The first thing
Make
that
sure
comes
it's a good
up,
looking sign. Wipe it off.
Thank you. The first thing that comes up says Bold Pivot, and then there's a little thing that says register. If you click register, it actually comes to frequently asked questions and the whole schedule. However, I'll tell you what it is. This is the coolest thing. And Karen, we muted you just because you were talking. It's fine. Just so know, if you need to talk, go ahead and unmute yourself. So it's going to be an international bold on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We will have a live stream. You guys will get coached by bold coaches from the West Coast that you've never even met. And the people on the West Coast are going to get to hear from some of the East Coast coaches. It starts at the beginning of May and it goes every week through May. So Chuck, that's your answer. Every week through May. It's not self-guided. It is absolutely on there. You will get materials, will come through KW Connect and probably the Bold Pivot website, and you'll download and you'll print those out. So you'll create your own manual. And live stream on Tuesday and Thursday, and then on Wednesday and Friday from 2 to 4, we're having Coach's Corner. And what Coach's Corner is that's where, how many of you guys ever been on a live stream before? How do they take questions on a live stream?
Slido.
Huh?
Slido.
What is Lido?
Slido.
Oh, Slido. Okay, cool. I still don't know what that is. Anyway.
That's what KWRI uses to take digital chat questions when they do the live streams every day.
So yeah, that's why I knew you were awesome. I knew you were going to help us out. Okay, so we text in our questions and then they answer back, or they tell the moderator. Is that how that works?
Yep, they'll have somebody who's monitoring those. They'll speak the question out loud. They'll say who said it, and then they'll answer it.
So, Chuck, as you can imagine, that's not necessarily as good as maybe in the room where we can just have a conversation around something. So the Coaches Corners on Wednesdays and Fridays are going to be smaller groups. I'm not sure if it's going to be Zoom. We're still working out how we want to do those. It'll be smaller groups where we can have more dialogue like you'd have in the room. And here's the cool thing. On the Tuesday and Thursday on the live feeds, we will then record those and post those on the Bold Pivot Facebook page. So that then if you heard a great script, you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't get that one written down and it's not in the notes we got, you can go back and hear it again and then you can get it word for word. Does that sound good?
Absolutely, thank you.
Absolutely, okay. And then the Bold Pivot Facebook group page is also really instrumental. Those of you who've been on it, you see there's already people posting, hey, these are some scripts I'm using for my care calls that are working really, really well. I was talking to Diana Kokoski yesterday. She gave me a really cool script that I'm going to share with the Bold Pivot Facebook group page as well that's working with her care calls. She calls them care sandwiches. And what she says in the middle is critically important. So yeah, you want to go on and get on that Bold Pivot Facebook group page and start looking at the files and the videos. Because there's a lot of people going on there, hey, I'm Mark Ramsey from Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm excited for Bold. And that's cool, and we like those things. And yet, high D personalities don't want to go parse through all those to get to the juice. All of the juice is in the files and the notes, or the majority to me is in the files and the videos. Good questions. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good.
Hey,
So
Mark.
how many of you are registered? Raise your hand again if you're registered for Bold Pivot already. How many of you are considering maybe getting into Bold Pivot? Okay. So I'd ask you if you're considering, I see you back there. So I'm asking you if you're considering it, just go on and do it now, because I can tell you, somebody asked me after a Zoom call yesterday, they texted me and they said, so what was the most important thing in 2008 that you did to stay in business? And I'm thinking that's fascinating because we just told you the whole story about how I was going out of business. I'm telling you, you wouldn't know the name Mark Ramsey if it hadn't been for Bold, because I would have been out of business. I was on my way out of business. Bold helped me get my mindset in tune, told me who to call, told me how to call. And back then we were just calling for business. Today, if you're writing this down, the last thing I'd ask you to write down is service first, sales second. That's Gary's mantra, and he's making it very, very dominant. Service first, sales second. So a really cool care call is, and I'm just using Nadine because she's at the top of my screen. So, hey, Nadine, how you doing? It's Mark Ramsey. So good to see you. Do you still love the house? All that. Hey, you know what? Here's the thing. And usually something comes up about the economy or whatever. And I say, you know what? I know a lot of people are concerned about the economy. Here's the cool thing, Nadine, is that the economy kind of follows what the real estate industry is doing. And I can tell you right now, I have buyers and sellers right now that need my help, and we're helping. I mean, I don't know who. Maybe you know somebody who needs help. You know, either wants to buy or sell a house, right? And then just stay there, just sit there. And 9 times out of Nadine will say, really? It's really good? Or they'll say, yeah, actually, I have a friend that was thinking of it. Whatever she says, you either go with it or don't, and then you go right back into the care call. Okay, so Nadine, I just wanted to call and make sure you're okay. I didn't want to take your whole day up. In fact, would it be okay if I called you back and in a few months, just again to check on you? Would that be okay? And what are most people going to say? Sure, absolutely, call me. Remember this, people remember how you start and how you finish. Who's ever taught a class? Anybody? So we got a lot of people, yeah? So when you teach a class, at the end of the class, and you say, hey, what did you get from this? Tell me one good thing. What section of the class do they usually bring up something that they like from? The beginning, the middle, or the end? I can't hear you, Chuck.
Yeah, sorry, the end.
The end. It's almost always from the last hour of the class. Or if it's a short class, it's always from the end. What's the second most common part of the class for them to remember something from?
Yeah.
The beginning.
Middle.
Well, actually, the beginning. The middle things tend to get lost in the middle. So you start with care and you end with care, and they get off the phone and they're like, wow, Nadine is so sweet. I really appreciated that call. And yet she did bring up real estate. In fact, she probably won't have to bring it up. If she's calling me, I'm probably going to ask her, oh, Nadine, how are you doing? That's what happened in 2008. Everybody wanted to know how I was doing. And it's, it's funny thing is a lot of buyers and sellers need my help right now. I don't know. Maybe you know of someone who needs help buying or selling. So instead of saying, do you, as we've always coached in Bold, another script is, I don't know, maybe you know of someone who's thinking of buying or selling and might have fear right now. And then just let it sit there and let them take it from there. Has there been value on this call for you? Because I've overstayed my welcome a little bit. Has there been any value for you?
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you, Mark.
Okay, so I'm going to do what I've always do. Let's get two people to tell me. So that's great. I'm glad there's value. Tell me one thing. Look at your notes or something that struck you. So this last 20 minutes has been valuable to you. Can two people tell me what's been valuable to you?
I like that you broke down the controllable in the 3 steps.
Thank you. That's so important. If you ask you that, and you can use that with your coaching clients, when you ask yourself that, that'll help keep yourself grounded. One other person, I think it was a lady, said something.
What am I doing that I shouldn't do? And what am I not doing that I should do?
Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant, brilliant things to ask yourself. Okay, good. So I do feel like I actually added value. Every one of these calls, my goal is to add value, not just to give you a show. Okay, so raise your hand if you're seriously willing to go out and find one other person to help them save their business and get them into Bold Pivot. Thank you guys, because you don't have to do that. You're doing that because you love and care about people. I'm doing hours and hours of free coaching. I'm getting paid nothing for it because I really care about people. My coach saved my business. And if all of us on this call can help save other people's business, it's going to make our environment better. It's going to make our industry better. It's going to make our market centers stay in business. And what's it going to do for profit share?
Grow it.
It's going to keep those checks coming, because when the market center doesn't make any money, there's no profit to share. Okay, hey, PJ, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I love you guys. It's so good to see your faces.
Mark, thank you so much for being here. And I really appreciate it. And I don't know if you noticed, but this is from my 3rd Bold that I took with you. And I'm trying to remember what year that was. I think it was 2015. So
I love it, brother. I love it. I remember that. And you, poor thing, had to put up with me on that airplane. Yeah, so you got old school, I got new school.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, what you guys may not know is how I first met Mark Ramsey is I sat next to him on an airplane, didn't know who he was, found out who he was, and just chewed his ear off from a ride back from Austin, I think my very first year. And so
I went easy on you, didn't I?
Yeah, you were asking me questions, and I felt like an idiot after the fact because I wasn't asking you questions. I was telling you about me. I was like, well, how stupid was that? But
it's because I was a coach and I was asking you questions. When you make it about someone else, you solve so many of your own problems right there, and you've attributed to me before, like, that ride helped me so much. And dude, 90% of it was already in your head. And that's the cool thing about Bold Pivot and all this. If you can help someone pull it out of their own head, they'll never forget it. And what happens is you grow people that are actually really good at helping other people, just like you are, PJ.
Well, Mark, thank you so much for being here. We really all appreciate it. I think we all got something good out of it. Can we give them a round of applause, guys?
Thank you, guys. We'll see you all in Bold Pivot then.
And Katrina, thank you for running the meeting. I appreciate you, guys. And Cece, thank you, guys. Make it a wonderful day. I'll see you all soon. Have a good one.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Did you hear me? Or you just happened?